Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. Those being Jerry Alexander, Samantha Bates, and L, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much of the things we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coyote and Crow, Tales from the Mizizibi. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your story guide for this Coyote and Crow Chronicle, or Chronicles World of Darkness saga. And joining me today, we have Julian.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I am playing Woya, the Path of the Coyote Tinkerer.
And Sen.
I'm Sen, and I'm playing Zen, the Path of the Wolf Warrior.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Nadi, who is a Path of the Falcon Seeker.
And Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Tella. She's a Path of the Falcon Whisper.
And we will not be joined this week by Mara, playing Tawasikik, the Path of the Salmon Seeker, who was, I believe, moving this week. So
Next 2 weeks, I believe they're moving.
So they will be joining us when they are available to do so again, which will probably be a couple of weeks out. But as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich. Welcome to Wrath Month, and again, also remember it is also Disability Awareness Month. And fucking vote. I don't care. I do care who you vote for, but I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but fucking vote.
It's important.
Don't let fucking the direction that this country is going to end up in, because it is heading towards some fucking directional turn, be decided without your input.
Sorry, what was that, Jeremy?
Oh, and as always, this stream is powered by Sirenscape.
And trans rights are human rights, and Black Lives Matter.
I already did those ones.
Did you? I didn't hear them.
Yes.
Too busy listening to the screaming in my head.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I also mentioned it's Disability Awareness Month.
Yeah. I'm aware of my disabilities.
Jeremy, did you have anyone on the list of
Everybody.
as Final Show Films keeper of the Grudge book.
It's
Wrath Month.
It's so big.
Fucking everybody.
The Grudge book is just so massive. Like, you could kill somebody with that, which is the intention.
That's what he said.
Oh, Greg. But yes, when last we left our Colisol, the group of them had been trying to kill an amount of time, also trying to get to know each other a little better, and particularly their mysterious new addition from across the ocean a little better. Had taken some time to experience a little bit more of the party scene, this time sans drugs, at least for Nadi.
Was it sans drugs?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there were no drugs being put into Nadi's system this time around.
Yeah, well, you should give Sans back his drugs.
Take that up with Papyrus. Anyway, the group spent an amount of time prepping, trying to gather materials, getting ready for the weekend, which will come with it an interrogation that is being planned for Councillor Wakuni to try and investigate who their source is and where they exactly they managed to acquire the stasis pod that contained Liv Erikstotta. Oh, my last thing, my thing that I usually do. As a reminder for everyone, Coyote and Crow is created by native voices for everyone, but especially for native voices. And while many of us in this game have native heritage, none of us grew up in native culture, and so we should not be looked to as the definitive voices and authorities on this game or native culture and how this game should be portrayed. I do not expect that this game looks anything like a game that is run by native voices would look. I added a European POV character just so we could have someone to have a reason to explain more of the universe to them. This is probably not a move that would be taken by anyone who's already familiar with all of this. So we pick up the next morning to the rest of the group as they awake in the morning. Who is up first, and what are you up to?
I think Zen is always up first.
Unless it's Naughty. Naughty keeps a very tight schedule.
Hold on, I'm looking at my new ability.
I will say that today, just because time is weird, today is probably the day that you are currently scheduled for your interview with Councillor Wakuni. But
Cool.
that is in the immediate afternoon, so you've got time in the morning.
Yeah, I feel like, well, strictly conscious, like physically conscious, it's probably not Nutty. Because I feel like Nutty is currently looks like they are meditating.
Oh no.
And they're just wandering around in astral form.
I saw this one coming. Is there a role to activate?
I'm
Walk the Black?
looking. It looks like yes, I have to make a will check and spend a point of mind and a point of soul. Every success allows me to access to one sense of my choice, so I feel like it is. Yeah, it's sight and hearing. And I'm not spying on anybody specifically. Nutty is just practicing currently.
Walk the Black is a spirit ability.
Correct. Will. Or no, spirit.
Yeah, it's
spirit.
You roll will for it, but it's a spirit based.
Correct.
Activate the ability, character sits or lies down, spends point of mind.
Oh, now I have to make now I have to make a charisma check, and that lets me know how many senses I get.
If you choose to keep your essence in reality, you may make a charisma check. Every success allows you to access one sense of the player's
All
choice.
right, just sight.
Now, staying inside reality in this form requires total focus.
Yep.
And every hour, the character must make another charisma check, choose their senses again, and spend a further point of soul and mind to maintain astrally projecting while staying in reality rather than the spirit realm.
Correct. Totally fine. Hey, I'm just wandering around.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
No. Not yet.
All right.
We are getting good at this.
Fair.
But that's all I'm doing. So whoever actually wakes up first.
While Nadi is traversing their immediate vicinity astrally away from their body. What is Zin? What are you up to? We haven't heard from you in 2 weeks.
I don't. Well, I think it's been actually like a day, like in game.
Yeah, 2 weeks out of game.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Like,
You have not had the scene focus in 2 weeks out of game.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not doing much. I'm doing exercise, his daily exercises. So morning running around, like, doing parkour throughout town. Doing some free running through the city. Just waiting, getting his daily exercise in while he waits for an update as far as meeting with a person that they are talking to for information. And
as you are sort of wandering and making your exercises, you do receive an update on your Nisa from Chipal, the handler for your Coyote. Who
pauses
alerts
whatever
you
he's
that-
doing to hang upside down from something to answer it. Or to check it.
Chipa alerts you that your meeting is good to go. You are scheduled in just after noon for your meeting with Counselor Wakuni related to getting information regarding the individuals that the Nisot family may have gotten the stasis pod from. You are reminded that while there are indeed, while they are still a counselor, and they are aiming to be cooperative because this is as embarrassing for them as it is for the family that is in trouble.
But yeah, they didn't do it. They didn't do this. It's the family member, the related
Yeah.
family that did this. So
So they intend to be cooperative, but if need be, the rest of the council is very annoyed about this, so you do have the backing to press a little bit if need be.
Yep. All right. I will take that and read that information. I'll forward a meetup notification to everyone else with like a pin at a location near the council building. To everyone else, along with a good morning message with a little like whatever the equivalent of a GIF would be of someone doing exercises. As a way of visualizing, get your morning exercises in. So everyone's Nisa will beep with that.
So does anyone
But
wake
whatever
up
that
to
happens.
that message specifically?
Tala wakes up, looks at that, throws her Nisa across the room, and rolls back over.
There.
Clattering noise that bounces off the far wall.
Ting, 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 ting. Shatters. Now you gotta get a new one. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna wake Naughty up, but we'll find that out. Because no one knows.
Nope. It's not going to be that long because I'm not going to tap myself out of mind. I already did that once in the past few days.
Wuya,
Mm-hmm.
does that wake you up, or were you up earlier, or does that not even bother to wake you up?
I guess that really depends on the 6'6" tall muscle mommy laying next to me on when she wakes up. Because when that moves, I'm gonna move.
I think Liv is probably content to sleep until that alert goes off, at which point the trill piercing noise of the Nisa going off, she sort of like opens an eye, looks over at it, says something in Icelandic that you don't understand yet.
She will just reply, I feel the same, and reach over and grab the Nisa.
And you look at it and you get Zin's message.
Thumbs up emoji. Or however we're doing that.
Yeah.
Not like I can explain anything to Liv. But she will get up and start getting breakfast for the two of them.
Mhm. Liv offers a basic sign for a morning greeting from the bit of Chahi sign language she's picked up. And starts to get up and get dressed and get her outfit on herself as well. As she dresses, she starts to incorporate like bits of the outfits that the group of you got for her over the into her wardrobe. But it does seem like she's still very much attached to the outfits that she had outfit primarily. There were a couple of others in the stasis pod as well, but the primary look that she had upon arrival here. So she's sort of incorporating bits of the new outfits and new pieces of clothing that have been provided to her, but her look remains largely that of bedecked in wolves, both artistic and literal. As you gather up your equipment, she grabs that shield and sword, puts them back onto her person, sits down at the table as you're preparing breakfast. The amount of communication that you have between sign language is not nothing, but it is still very limited. Basic gestures, enough that she could probably get directions if she needed to, but not
That
much
is
more.
already better than yesterday.
But as you are preparing breakfast, the door to your sister's room cracks open, and a very, very tired looking, I'm forgetting your sister's name.
Nazina.
A very, very tired looking Nazina, sort of like half sway, walks her way over to the table and clunks down a second eye headset. I was up all night, but it's done.
She'll look at she will contain her excitement and look at Liv.
Liv just sort of looks down at it, looks up at Nazina, and like not a sign language, but like a gesture of like trying to get if she's understanding the situation properly. And Nazina nods, and she picks up the second eye and slides it over her head, and sort of looks around as the HUD sort of takes place over her vision. Largely clear on the opposite side. She's the only one who's really seeing the characters that are showing up in front of her. But Nazina like looks over. All right, so the interface should be presenting what I'm saying in your translation as best as we understand it, and it should also be relaying. You've got a basic interface with it, so that should be able to try and suggest options in Chahi to respond if you just begin what you're looking for. It's mostly look activated, so just sort of glance at whatever you're looking for, and you'll be able to try and find the answer. And she, like, her eyes sort of move left and right for a minute. And after a moment, she says, in faltering and kind, definitely heavily accented Chahi, but she does say, thank you for this gift.
Thank you, Nazina.
She nods and seems very happy with the headset. She sort of like starts to take in all of the language that she can hear now. After a while, she'll eventually just start to learn the words, but having the translation tool there will help expedite that by letting her actually translate what she's hearing and try and communicate with it properly. And the fact that she's already a linguist will help speed that process.
Yay.
I
Auto
have
translation
no
devices.
doubt she will pick it up without much problem.
We plugged your glasses into Google Translate. Go.
Yeah. The Nazina just sort of grabs whatever food was prepped and set aside for her and just stumbles her way back into her room, going, I'm going to finish this and then go to sleep.
How about you go to sleep for like 2 days, please?
I'll sleep as much as I want to, thank you. She closes the door behind her. You may or may not see her in the next couple of days.
That girl's gonna... I don't think she'll make it to 40.
She is hardy. I think she will be fine.
You can call her stubborn. It's fine.
I actually didn't know that word until now, so stubborn,
Oh.
yes.
That's fair. It's hard to know all of them, isn't it?
I mean, I'm sure she knew the word. I'm sure she knew the word in her language, just not in Chahi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to, I know you usually do like morning training and stuff, but we have a little bit of time before we're supposed to do, we're supposed to have a meeting with Counselor Wakuni about,
Yes.
about the pod, but, we can walk around the city if you'd like.
I would appreciate that. Like all of her Chahi currently is very slow and like blocked because she is picking words and then saying words when she gets the pronunciation of them.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, somewhere else
But-
in town, Zin is currently trying to rescue a child from a well.
Not Timmy again.
Kid, you gotta learn to look where you're walking.
Look, there's only so many times your dog can try and warn you.
It's the same well. Oh,
At some point, the dog is like, "Fuck it, you're on your own."
I have a child that has woken up. Hang on, let me go deal with that real quick.
We should probably see about everyone else as well.
She will send a group text message out, letting everybody know that her and Liv are going to be walking around town for a little bit before the meeting, if anyone wants to join up. And if there's anything else that needs discussed or has to happen today before we go to our meeting.
I say Nadi is still not in their body right now.
Yep.
The place I suggested meeting up is like a food place near the, just so that anyone that hasn't eaten yet can get food before we go into a meeting. And I set the meetup time early enough that we can eat and not have to be running away from the place with food in hand.
So
Because Zen knows how to plan.
Yeah, there's a couple of hours. The meeting time is a couple of hours before the actual meeting itself.
Yeah.
When does
I'm gonna
Tala
try to push that, by the way, to see if I can make it the full couple hours. So I'll have to roll twice. But anyways,
when does Tala actually wake up?
Mid-morning.
Uh,
And
does
when
she
she
respond to Woyo's text or anything, or does she just
she's gonna first send a text to Naughty.
again will not
And
get
just,
it?
will not get it and has
Yeah.
has 4 of the 5 senses currently.
Just, well, 4 of the 6. You're lacking your proprioception as well.
Sorry, what?
You're lacking your proprioception as well. Proprioception is your sense of self. It's your sense of your body. It's how you know that your elbow is where it's at. That kind of thing.
Oh, I know where my elbow is at. It's back at the.
Yeah, you're currently lacking your proprioception because you cannot detect where your arms are right now because you are actually projecting.
Okay, but I know where it is. So
Yeah.
you know.
Logically, yes. Proprioception is what keeps you from running into your own limbs, basically.
she will send a text to Woya that just says, "Let me just get a hold of Naughty and we'll meet up with you guys." Not knowing.
Not knowing.
As she sends a few messages to Naughty.
Yep.
Just their general, like, "Hey, you up? Want to meet up with Woya and Liv? You okay after last night?
Yep.
You alive?"
You up? WYD? Question mark, question mark. Hot singles in your area?
And precedingly nothing.
Yep. Yeah, that's why they start being like, "You alive?" Question mark.
Yep.
Seriously, you
responses.
alive?
No
Question mark.
responses.
I'm coming to find you is the last one. As she starts to head over to the barracks.
Technically it's 4 of the 6 senses, but the 6 senses is not your sense of self. Your 6th sense is your 6th sense, because if you get 6 or more successes on your charisma roll, you can start to receive supernatural sensory input.
Right. Right. I'm gonna assume, because I'm not tracking too far away from my body. Naughty makes bad decisions sometimes.
Sometimes.
Naughty is not dumb.
Well, you can always return to your body. You may or may not know the full breadth of this ability at this point. Actually, no, because the ability comes with an instinctive understanding of it.
Absolutely.
It does not matter how far away you are from your body. You can always get back.
Absolutely, but realistically, like I understand that that's how it works, but Naughty did not have an instruction manual, and regardless, first time out, maybe you don't,
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Wander as far away as you can. So I imagine at some point, Spirit Naughty sees like Tala rushing towards the barracks or something like that.
Probably. Especially because you've got everything but taste, I'm assuming.
Yeah. You don't really need taste in spiritual form. Just because I think it's funny. What's Tala's demeanor getting there?
Like, she's slightly concerned, but she's
Okay.
not in too much of a rush. She's
Okay.
in like normal, I'm finding naughty concern,
Right.
if that
Fair
makes
enough,
sense.
fair enough.
I think the worst case scenario that's going through Tala's mind right now is Naughty's Nisa is off and like under a table somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. There's probably on the after side. There's probably like hey. Oh right. I will get back into my body.
Roll me another charisma
Oh, that's right.
check.
I do have to roll.
Roll another charisma roll to get back into your frame.
This is where I'm gonna like all the ones. Nope. I'm good.
Charisma roll to get back into your corpse.
Once they have returned to their body, the character wakes up the following round, stunned for the round.
Yep.
For every full hour they are out of their body, they temporarily lose 1 point of endurance.
Oh good, my endurance is 0.
Oh no.
You're dead.
They automatically regain 1 point back lost in this fashion per long rest.
What happens if
Oh,
it reduces
shit.
their endurance to 0?
If reduced to 0 endurance while using Walk the Black, the person perishes as their body becomes untouched.
Okay,
You're
fine.
dead.
I didn't see that part.
What is your normal endurance?
My normal endurance is 2.
Okay, so it's every full hour. You did not make it through the second hour.
That's
so your
fair,
endurance
that's
is currently
fair.
1.
That is
If you had
still
been out
not
for another
against-
hour, you would be dead.
That would be the ultimate me thing, though, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Accidentally killing myself because I used the power.
You
Yep.
astral projected yourself to death. Yeah, no, that would be.
I would make an argument for still playing myself just as the spirit wandering around. It would be fine. We have Zin. Zin can sense spirits.
They can sort of get a sense of the spirits. They don't have Hawk's Eye, which is what they would need to actually like perceive you.
That just makes
Why
it
that-
funny.
Why did that happen? That was weird. I thought I had swapped Jeremy and Julia around to the right spots. Apparently, I either didn't or they swapped back. I don't know. But they've been fixed now.
Well, stop that.
No, I definitely swapped them out. I don't know why they swapped back or when they swapped back. I don't know. Anyways.
But yeah, you wake up feeling
Yep.
very lethargic for a second as your soul reacclimates to re-entering your body.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Your physical presence feels somewhat dampened at the moment.
Yeah,
as
but
your
also that was
endurance
so
has been
cool.
reduced to 1. Yeah, that was very cool as far as you're concerned.
Yeah,
you just need to.
it's
You need
fine.
to get some, because as far as especially the people of Cahokia are concerned, but also most of Makasung, mind, body, and spirit are all like interconnected and all one thing. And
Right.
So to better acclimate your spirit to be able to journey, your body needs to be in better condition as well. So now you just need to do some endurance training, up that endurance so you can handle it better.
Oh, naughty. Do I have to put
I
you
will
through
do
endurance
that.
training?
I will do that once I'm done raising my charisma because that was what I put in my goals at the end of last session because my charisma is also 2.
All right.
Once I've got
Fortunately, those
Anisha
should be relatively
Longblade.
quick long-term goals.
Once I've got my Anisha Longblade, I will set my long-term goal to be training endurance so that I'm training Naughty's endurance.
But yeah, anyway.
All right.
Ah. Wow.
So, Tala,
Your
the
body
corpse is awake now.
refuses to move for a second. It's that sort of sleep paralysis moment where
Uh-huh.
your body, like your soul, is still integrating with your body, and so you're slowly regaining the ability to control your limbs because
Huh.
you are stunned for a round when you return to
Right.
the body.
Yep.
So it's like everything's reacclimating, and then a bit later you start being able to move again.
What does Tala walk in on?
Do you beat her back to your body, or do you come in
I
like
mean,
shortly?
it's like that essentially. It's a single action.
Yeah, pretty much, no matter what your distance is. So I'm just curious whether
It's
you.
they're probably like in the process of like. Have you ever tried to like sit up when both of your legs are asleep?
Yeah, where you sit up and then your legs just go.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
It's the closest humans get to having a physics collision issue in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you sit
Yeah,
up, you
very
try and
wobbly,
put your legs
very-
under you, and then your legs just go flink.
Oh! Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Pins and
Naughty?
needles, pins
That's
and
what
needles,
you
pins
walk
and
into.
needles.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, I sent
All of your limbs are experiencing pins and needles because
Yep.
you're regaining sensation.
I sent
So
you
you
like
know
a
you're alive.
ton. I sent you like a ton of messages.
Oh, I looked down.
Were
Oh,
you
you did.
Were you asleep?
Yes.
You said that like you were lying.
I want to say, can I willingly botch a deception roll?
Yeah, I'll say so.
Okay. Yes.
You
Why
make
do
a
I need to
deception roll
roll?
and botch. You don't. He like
don't?
at
Okay.
this point, Naughty is the one who would be rolling deception and chooses to
Okay.
fail.
What were you doing?
I mean, my body was asleep.
I'm sorry. Can you break that down for me?
Yeah. Can you help? Can you do me a favor and help me get on the sit down on something? My body's still waking back up.
Okay. She will help.
Yep. Thank you.
Lift,
No, I took.
lift Naughty's like noodle form.
Yeah.
Just like flip.
I took a walk. About an hour and a half.
Okay.
Spiritually.
Okay. I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
I've been working on it. I can. Now.
What's it like?
I mean, kind of cool. I figure it might be useful if, we need to like spy on something. I'm not spying on anybody right now. Promise.
I trust you.
That was your first mistake.
I mean, that's what's going on in their head, right? Those are the exact words in their head right now. But,
Presenting,
but no, it's
presenting me as the voice in your head.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's different, but kind of the same. I couldn't taste anything.
I mean, I don't think you need to if you're out of your body.
Well, and for the first hour, I couldn't really hear anything or touch anything, feel anything. But I could still see.
Can you roll me a retroactive perception check real quick for the trip back to your body?
Okay. Perception. 2.
While you were returning, you had just happened to glance up. And while you can't see with detail anything supernatural unless you have 6 successes on your charisma roll,
It's not happening anytime soon.
You get this sense of the presence of others. It's not like an awareness so much as just a feeling in your perception that you are not the only one walking the black at this time. And you get the sense that there are a number of others that you can't quite pick up, but you get the feeling like they are there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where, and you don't think it's immediately in your vicinity, but you sort of have this tingling in the back of your neck, neck, spiritually. Like it is the presence of others walking the black. Coming generally in the direction of the residence, temple, camp, whatever you want to call it, of the Hihan Gaziwag outside of the city.
Okay. Yeah, it was fun. It was tiring, but I assume that'll get better. I know not to
Okay.
stay out too long because dying's bad.
Yeah. Is there a limit on like how far you can go?
Not how far, how long.
Okay.
I mean, how far because I can only go so fast, but
Right.
I can get back as quick as I can get back like that. I shouldn't probably be out more than I would say roughly an hour, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds.
That's a very specific amount of time.
Yeah.
It rounds up.
Okay. Did you
But no,
want to?
I'm fine now.
Okay. Did you want to meet up with Hoya and her new girlfriend?
Oh, sure. Hold on a
Yes.
second. Test my feet. Okay, I'm good.
Also, are you okay after last night?
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I will follow your lead.
I have a puppy. All right. Where were we meeting up with Hoya and Liv?
Moya and Liv are mostly just sort of wandering around, probably
I assumed
primarily just.
I assumed you were going to be meeting up at the place where Zin suggested, but I didn't know that there was another one.
I mean, no. Liv and Woya are sort of walking through Nahikongi. So they are just sort of out and about, getting a feel for the environment, helping Liv experience her new translating visor for the first time, trying to get a feel for how to pick out individual conversation, especially in a place where there are multiple people talking around her. So the group of you just sort of convene at a point in the middle of Nahikongi, just sort of wandering through the streets. Streets, I say, as if there's really much in the way of there's not really a paved road a lot of the time, more just paths that are regularly walked.
streets works as far as like linguistics.
Was Zen meeting us there as well?
This
No,
was
Zin
this
Zin
was
is
separate,
out doing
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zen is out helping old
Had-
ladies cross streets and
Yeah.
rescuing kids from wells, cats from
Shining
trees.
your halo. All right.
Look, he's got to do a lot of good. Zen feels like he has to do a lot of good deeds in order to make up for the literal curse that follows him everywhere. So that's what he does.
But yeah, she'll take whatever
Mhm.
your name is, Naughty. I'm sorry, I wanted to call you something that was not your name at all. Sorry.
It's
she'll take-
okay. You
Naughty,
can
naughty.
say Tala 2.0 if you want.
No.
Yes, yes.
No, that was no. Anyway, yeah, she will take Naughty and yeah, head over and meet them wherever
Cool.
Woya says they are.
Also, fun fact, Shawnee, I was looking up. Apparently, the question of what sort of if they had access to that level of metallurgy, what sort of swords would indigenous cultures have created? And apparently, the current consensus is double-edged swords, like more traditional, like straight broadswords. I don't know if we're still gonna go with like the katana-like style for the
I mean, the
Anisha Longblade, but
the depiction of the Anisha Longblade that we have seen is like
more like it's
the-
more like
the-
like a larger karambit, yeah.
yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. I was just curious. I was looking at things.
It's less like katana and more very long machete
Yeah.
kind of thing.
More of a falchion or a scimitar.
Yeah.
That makes sense. This isn't gonna matter. This is literally just for me putting on my mini that no one ever sees. That
Yeah.
anyways.
Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah, the four of you meet up. As Nadi and Tala arrive at Wuya and Liv's locations. You see that Liv is sort of like looking around with fresh eyes at the moment because she's got the visor on. You see that she's wearing this sort of like orange tinted glass second eye visor that is sort of like rests almost like exclusively just barely wider than her actual eye line. It just barely like encroaches on her eyebrows and just a little bit right above the tip of her nose. But it sort of is this like orange lens that rests around the ears, and you can't see anything on it because of the way that the transparency functions. But she is seeing a wide variety, just like a complete heads-up display, just spreading across the field of her view that is translating everything that she hears.
hi.
Hey,
Hey, how was your evening?
Good,
Tala just looks at Woya.
Good morning. Liv says in faltering but functional Chahi.
yeah, we got that
Oh.
working this morning.
That's awesome. That will be very helpful for you guys. And for all of us.
Subtle, Tala. Subtle.
Oh yes.
That is definitely the word I would use.
Tala is the master of subtlety. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, she did this on purpose.
Yeah, it's gonna be very helpful.
Now when you say yes, mommy, she'll see the exact translation into Icelandic.
Uh,
I just heard my
uh,
wife sigh from over there.
I mean, deserved.
Katie has that superpower.
it went really well. We went and we got dinner and we went and saw a show.
Did a little dance, made a little love.
Um, went back to my place and just cuddled for the evening.
Sounds good.
I thought it was fantastic.
I
Thank
wandered
you,
into the
Naughty.
black.
I'm sorry, you did what?
What?
Yes,
Wandered
Naughty's
into the
been
black.
experimenting with things.
Yes.
Like drugs and astral projection.
Not drugs.
No, we already did that one.
I thought I told you no more peyote for the psychic.
No. I just actually did travel into the black.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I wouldn't give them drugs again. I'm not that irresponsible.
I'm not familiar with that term, ability, translation.
Naughty.
I left my body and traveled to spirit land world.
Ah, traveling the 9 worlds. Okay, I understand.
Sure.
Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
The name that my people give to a similar ability.
Well, then that. Anyway,
How was it?
it was fine. I didn't do it so long that I died.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Can we go get something to eat?
If it is anything like what my people can do back home, traveling the 9 worlds imposes significant stress on the body the longer that the spirit is away. Being gone
I couldn't
too
move
long,
for a little bit after, but I'm fine.
being gone for too long might risk separation of body and spirit.
That.
Yeah. That doesn't sound.
It's okay.
You're gonna need to be careful with this, okay?
Told you as long as I don't spend more than an hour and 59 minutes, 59 seconds
Yes.
on the astral plane, I'll be fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
You
Not
should
e-
make effort to shore up the strength of your bond of body
Oh,
and
that's
spirit.
my plan.
Naughty accidentally stays out slightly too long. Like he stays out that long, still dies, gets to the Great Spirit, asks them why they died, and the Great Spirit goes, I don't do math, bruh. It's close enough.
I mean, the funny answer would be that I go to walk the black after I've done drugs again, so I lose sense of any kind of time. So like, yeah, it's only been like 20 minutes, and some other spirit walks by, is like, dude, you've been dead for like 3 years.
Oh, crumbs.
But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm fine. Sorry, you guys were talking about your thing.
No, it is impressive that you were able to manifest more abilities from your gift. The people of my home, for my people, developing more than one gift the uh, from the right. Uh, you call it the Adanadi, yes. Um, is as rare comparatively as developing a single gift from the Adanadi is to the general population who develop nothing. Nothing more than normal.
Cool.
I number among those that have developed a second gift in my lifetime, but one in 20, I think, of those who develop an ability, which is again 1 in 20 of the normal population.
Mm-hmm.
You said you wanted food, Naughty?
Yes.
All right. Let's go somewhere and get food.
Yep.
Are you going somewhere nearby or going to where Zen suggested meeting up, which is a food place?
Probably wherever's in suggested.
So we all meet up.
Yay!
Zen probably already there. Just snacking on something. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Where have you been?
Well, I got up this morning and I did my exercises, and then I went on patrol. I had to help a kid out of the well for the third time that he decided to fall into it. Then I rescued some animals that were stuck up a tree and couldn't get down. And then I had to grab a kid who decided that he was going to today was going to be the day he starts pulling pranks, and so I caught him before he did anything particularly dangerous and gave him a talking to. And then I got the message from our handler and sent it on to you guys. And then I did some more exercises. And then I think there's probably a few more things between here and there that I'm not remembering right now. And then I arrived here and got food while waiting. Why?
Just curious.
Oh, well, what are you guys up to?
We got the translator for Liv finished.
Holds a thumbs up towards Liz. I'm assuming it's working?
Yes, it is. Again, she is speaking Chahi slowly and deliberately as she is selecting words and learning pronunciations.
You're doing good. Sounds like you're a fast learner, and also that the technology is working well.
I did drugs, but I don't remember if you were here for that then.
No, yeah, I was. It looks over at Tala. That was my. Upon getting that information, I figured this would be a learning experience for Tala.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it again unless they want drugs, and probably definitely not now with new information. And
Well,
I found them after
wouldn't-
they ran away. So
That's true. I wouldn't walk the black if I was on drugs.
Would you be able to stop yourself?
Yes.
That's a no.
I'll keep them away from drugs
That is a
unless
belief
they
in
really
their
want.
mind of yes.
That's why Zen went, that's a no. You never know what you're capable of stopping yourself from doing until you're in a situation where you need to stop yourself from doing it. Zen says, coming off just like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Chair spin, sit.
So you actually projected well high.
I'd like to change the go live, please.
So you also wanted to sing with all the colors of the rainbow.
It's colors of the wind.
No, I know. Paint with all the colors of the wind is a different thing. Sing with all the colors of the
Right,
rainbow
you said sing.
is what
Yeah.
you do when you're vomiting while actually projecting.
Other people can do this, and they know not to do drugs while doing it.
Yeah,
So do I.
absolutely.
To be fair, some people do drugs to help with the walking the black.
That's also
but
true.
Also, I'm the one that gave them the drugs, okay? They may not have realized what was
To be
in
clear-
what I gave them.
To be clear, Naughty, I'm not doubting your capabilities. I'm just saying, until you've tested those capabilities, you don't know where your limit is.
I mean, I tested. Which capabilities are we talking about?
Stopping yourself from walking the black while on drugs, if doing so would be harmful to you.
No, I know that I wouldn't do that.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
that was a very long pause. I thought the translator had stopped for a second.
So, we've got a meeting in a couple
Oh,
hours.
she's funny too.
Eat food. Let's not go into a meeting with the counselor hangry. The counselor is supposed to be cooperating with us. This is as embarrassing to them as it is presumably to the rest of the council. But we do want to just know that if we need to press for more information, we can use the backing. We have the backing of the council for this inquiry. So hopefully it won't come to that, and we'll just get all the information that we need and be able to plan appropriately. Now that you will have a little bit easier time understanding what people are saying. He says, gesturing towards Liv.
Indeed.
Look over at Tala and Naughty. Has anything else popped up since we've been incommunicado? Anything I need to know?
About
Anything in general? Does anybody pick up leads that they want to follow? Any sort of like jobs they want to pick up? Gesturing towards the empty space where Tawasikik is. Anyone have new contacts that they've met and want to do jobs for? Something like that?
Hawasikik has signed up for a race in the coming days and
Right.
asked me to be the co-pilot for that race. So,
Says Liv.
yes.
Mhm.
When is that?
After the weekend, so a couple of days from now.
Okay, so we won't. So if anything else pops up, we likely won't be pursuing any information we find here until after that.
Which gives us some time to process the information we gather and make plans.
Yeah, which is good. I wanted to check and see if there was anything else that I missed, like the new ability.
Walking the Nine Realms is a rare one.
Also, Naughty, are you feeling okay?
Yes.
Because I didn't get a psychic phone call first thing in the morning, so I was just may want to make sure.
Oh no, that's because I wasn't in my body.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I don't think that there's anything stopping you from doing both of those.
No, absolutely not.
Aside
I
from
can
the extra mind
100%
cost.
do both. That's the key. Naughty is conserving a little bit of mind.
Preserving mind. All right. So I'm not familiar with
soul.
what these are. He says, gesturing towards the remains of the food that's on his plate, but it's delicious if you want to get some. Zen, who just eats food. that's
I'm
presented to
assuming
him.
we've been eating this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
That was me just like transitioning to a
Yeah.
less relevant topic. Yeah. Food conversation and then meeting, unless anybody's got
Yep.
something else.
You'll
on
have
top.
delicious meal. And make your way over to the council building.
I'm just imagining. I'm trying to imagine what the indigenous version of like ravioli would be.
That is not my place to answer.
No,
Right.
it's imagination because
But as the group of you make your way over to the council building, and sort of arrive at the steps and this tall structure looming overhead, the steps leading up to the general chambers, but also as you step up the steps, Chipa is there waiting for you and sort of helps guide you towards a side chamber, where you enter the room, and sitting at a smaller iteration, like a smaller version of the council's very long table that they all share, is like a smaller meeting table that Councillor Wakuni is already sitting and waiting at. Wakuni being a shorter-haired individual. Looks like he might be going bald in his old age, but with this sort of heavily lined face that has seen many, many, many winters. And as he sort of looks up, "'Tis good to meet all of you. I look forward to being able to share information that will help progress your investigations and resolve any further conflict before it can become a danger to the city of Cahokia. So, shall we begin with questions and answers?" And at that point is where we're going to take our break.
All right. Those of you that are watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. A dinosaur story. I'm sure you've all missed that.
No.
I mean, Mara's been
And-
filling it in.
Yeah,
so-
Mara
That's
always
what I
does
mean.
it.
Good. That's good. Good. My legacy is protected.
In fact, this is the first time we don't also have Mara doing it because Mara's not here. So, yes.
I like to imagine that wherever Mara is right now, just out of
Instinctively.
the blue, a
A dinosaur.
dinosaur story. Wait, what?
It's
I'm
we have a.
pictu-
What you're saying is that Mara is a warlock and I'm her patron.
I'm
No.
picturing Mara just like dead asleep and then just sits straight up in the bed
Yep.
and goes, "A
Dinosaur story.
dinosaur story."
This is no less making that same simple statement I've previously indicated. I'm okay with this. I would be a good warlock patron. All of your tasks would be random ass shit, like just it's like you sit up in the middle of the night saying a dinosaur story.
I mean, if you want to put yourself down like that, sure.
Fold things incorrectly just to annoy people. What do you mean put myself down like that? Warlock patrons are cool.
Warlock patrons are fucking assholes. Every single one of them. Without exception.
What about celestial warlock patrons?
Assholes.
Gotta say, you're
What
really
about-
gonna ask. You're really gonna ask if angels are occasionally assholes.
It could end up
You've
being
seen
angels.
Has
It
Been
could also be
Hotel.
it could also be a unicorn. I mean, yeah, fair.
Unicorns are assholes. Oh, you probably haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, so you wouldn't.
I have not seen Gavin.
But you have seen Supernatural, so
wait,
you know
is there-
unicorns are
I
assholes.
mean, that's fair. There's a unicorn in Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
And
yes.
the horse with a horn, not the third person looking for a couple.
Correct. It's
D-
brutal.
D&D angels are whatever their god is supposed to represent.
Oh, yeah,
They
absolutely.
manifest. They are not.
Thus, assholes.
I was gonna say, what about Jack's character that was his own warlock patron? But the Ashkill's also kind of an asshole.
I would like to present Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's fair. Utterly fair.
Don't get me wrong. Love the character. Absolute asshole.
That was not Jack's narrative.
Fakir
plan.
was-
like Jack gave me free reign over Fakir's patron, other than like the name and general description. So that was fun for me. Anyways,
I mean, in fairness, all of my characters are assholes too. So
yeah, I am also an asshole.
I can envision a warlock patron who's not an asshole, but it's definitely breaking from the mold.
My father was an asshole. His father was an asshole. My son will be an asshole in the future.
we
From
we
a
call
long
those
line of assholes.
Johnny, we call those boring patrons.
No, see, if every warlock patron is an asshole, the one who isn't is by virtue more interesting by breaking the mold.
Absolutely not. That is not how that works.
Yeah, it doesn't work with that doesn't work in the case of that. It does work in other cases, but
Being unique and being boring are not exclusive.
Look, all I'm saying is that there's a reason why we make fun of the people who have the constantly edgy backstories.
Or we are
Doing the exact same thing over again just because it's edgy is not always entertaining either.
Yes, no, you don't make you
Yeah.
don't do it because it's edgy.
look,
You just come up with a story and then realize, fuck, I made another edgy one.
okay, just
Yeah.
because all of the other people around him were heels didn't make face Roman Reigns more interesting, okay? And just because so many characters
He's
are
out of line,
heels,
but it's accurate.
just because so many characters are heels doesn't mean that heal Jericho isn't the best thing Jericho does whenever Jericho does anything.
Yeah, if we're talking 5 years ago.
You know, I don't know what Jericho's doing currently. So
Nothing interesting.
look, everyone gets old. It's a fact of life. We have to accept it.
I literally posted an article earlier where a direct quote from Jericho was asking about, if he's going to slow down in the ring. The only number I care about is the one on the check.
Was that him doing a bit or just him being himself? Because it's harder and harder to tell as time goes on.
That's the problem.
No, see, I can perfectly envision the Warlock patron where the Warlock is like absolutely certain that they are doing this to like their Warlock pact is their form of punishment. They're going to make up for all their misdeeds, and their Warlock patron is just like, seriously, could you please just take a minute and take care of yourself? My Warlock pact with you is I need you to practice self-care. Please.
Before we go
So-
back to the thing,
so
my version
Coyote and Crow.
My version of that is a person that's made a pact with a genie patron. The person wants the warlock power so that they can cheat people out of money as like a riverboat gambler, and the genie patron will give them power to do that so long as they do one good deed a week. That's an interesting good warlock patron to me. But it's still an asshole because they're forcing their asshole warlock to do good things. Anyways.
But yeah, so we return to the room as the group of you have met with privately Councillor Wakuni as they have asked if it is now time to begin questions and answers. What do you have to ask first?
Yes, if you don't mind. First of all, we understand that is Liv with us, or did we leave Liv outside?
I assume you brought Liv with you,
Okay,
unless
cool.
otherwise stated.
That's unless it was restricted. I was just we bring her. So, the device that was recovered. Our primary interest right now is learning where the family that recovered it got it and the name of their contact that they bought it from. We know it came from the Haudenosaunee. It was the Haudenosaunee, wasn't it?
It's somewhere on the west coast. Haudenosaunee was one of the options.
Yeah.
You believe that it would have been Haudenosaunee.
Yeah,
But there's also technically the option for Kitawagi.
Yeah, where our guess is likely someone from within the Haudenosaunee territories. That could also be someone from the Kitawagi Alliance, but we're hoping you give us clarification on that.
Indeed. The contact was a regular merchant contact that deals in rare antiquities, mysterious items, things believed to have unique properties and persuasions. They tend to bring items along with them to Cahokia, seeking to sell them to families who look to gain unique items or information. In this particular case, they have brought the item to be sold as an oddity and potentially some spiritual importance. And the Nisot family believed that the unique technology on display might provide them with an edge in the political games of Cahokia, should they be able to properly decipher its use and purpose. As it was, we understand exactly how that played out.
Did you confirm that it was from the Haudenosaunee, or?
Indeed, the merchant themselves was Haudenosaunee, though the region that they claim to have recovered the item, the object from, is disputed territory between Haudenosaunee and the Kitawagi Federation. If more of them were to be found along similar shores, they could have ended up in either nation.
And the name of this merchant?
The merchant was known as Yangaba.
Could you just put that in chat for us? I'll just on my Nisa pull up like a map of Makasang. Did they happen to tell you where along the coastline, or which territory specifically that they recovered the item from?
The eastern coast of Makasong is home to a great number of inlets and beaches that drift and take in water from the outer ocean. In particular, there is on the eastern side a peninsula, small, on the far east, on the northern end of Kitawagi and the southern end of Haudenosaunee, whose inward bay, the pod that contained Liv, was washed upon.
Could you switch us to the world map so we can see the
map of Makasong? That would be about here-ish.
Okay.
That's like
So ways.
that's like Rhode Island, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Rhode Island, New Jersey. Like it's that northeast. Like you said, like right there.
No, here at the border.
Oh, it'd be
No, that's goddamn Delaware.
yeah,
that's Delaware.
That's Maryland, Delaware. Yeah,
I don't know why I call it goddamn Delaware, but I did.
because sometimes you do.
It's too close to Washington D.C. I had to.
Yeah. All right. For those at home that aren't seeing the map, the Makasong map is intentionally inverted. I'm assuming so that we don't try to like overlap it with a United States map and miss the point. But it's also useful for those of us that live in the United States to geographically like locate things in our brain. And so I had to looking at it upside down, basically.
Yep. So that's like
Also slightly squished.
I don't know how quick our mode of transportation is.
I mean, we could.
I mean, considering we
could take a river
barge,
right out. Like,
yeah. The Yutsu barge that you took to the permanent ice zone got you there relatively briefly. And that's a significantly longer distance.
Yeah, but that's also a distance that doesn't involve mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would probably be. I would imagine that it would probably be about the same length of time.
yeah,
Roughly.
we could take the river
Which is like
out
what,
of
a couple weeks.
We could go upriver out of Cahokia to the mountains, cross the mountains, and then from there it's literally downhill. But yeah, I imagine the river would be the fastest part and the mountain would be the slowest. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would agree that probably a couple weeks of travel.
A little shorter than that. You're looking at several days of Yutsu barge, assuming you take a Yutsu barge.
That's the question of like, do we want to fly through because we don't have authority in their territory, strictly speaking.
Yeah, but does that mean it's a no-fly zone? Because if we can fly, we should fly.
Yeah, that's fair. What, Johnny? What is the Yutsu barge flying regulations between nations?
So there are transits that exist between nations. However, because those are across national borders and the nations, while they're not openly hostile to each other, do not always get along and keep their identities largely separate from each other, including like each individual nation has their own Daso net. The Daso of the Freelands in Cahokia does not connect to the Daso Harunosani, does not connect to the Daso of Kitawagi, meaning the internet equivalent does not include data from different nations unless you hack into their network, usually by hardline connections at the borders. So there are transport lines that do exist between the two nations. However, because you are crossing national boundaries, those transport lines will be more heavily scrutinized and thoroughly inspected as you arrive.
And on the off chance that either of the other nations have found and claimed any of the other escape pods, and if they've happened to open any of them, I would rather not deal with a touchy foreign nation deciding that Liv is their property. Not the word property probably wouldn't be used, but you know what I mean.
The other concern, of course, is if a group of Suyata and a stranger are found sneaking into Harunosani, not by taking, obvious and public methods, how would that look?
Yeah.
That
would not look good at all.
Well, figuring that out aside, did the merchant did this young Gama make mention at all to the Nisat family that they might have had a line on more than one of these pieces of technology?
Yangama is a bombastic merchant at the best of times. Whether he had more information on more of these pods or not, it was in his best interest to expound upon the uniqueness of this file. And I doubt that the Nisat family has any further information on whether or not they had more of them available. They have not informed me of such, and I suspect that they would be quickly looking to cover themselves if they did consider, he says, with a look that says that there was probably some very tense conversations between himself and the head of the Nisat family.
Could the Nisat family put us in a meeting room with this Yangama?
I believe Yangama is still within the city of Cahokia at the time, plying his trade. So it should be possible for the Nisat to establish a communication and have them meet with a Kaliso as needed.
I would like it, if possible, for them to establish the meeting as if they were going to be there, and then have us be there instead, rather than letting them know that a Kaliso wants to talk to them. When someone's prepared to lie to one group of people, an entirely different group of people showing up makes them a little bit harder to come up with new lies on the fly.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Zin's request was that if the Nisat family could arrange a meeting for Yangama as if they were going to be there, and then we show up instead. That way it throws him off his game a little bit. If he's got lies prepared for the Nisat family, he might not use those same lies, or he might try. Basically, he won't have as much time to prepare for us as he will for them, because we're
And he's
unknown.
gonna. Is it too much to hope that we can be up front and just kind of talk to them?
I mean, my
Or is that not going to work because this is a government thing and apparently everything is corrupt?
talk to who? Youngama or the Haudenosaunee?
Yes.
Well, Youngama.
Whichever.
Well, Youngama's a merchant.
Right.
My hope is my goal, at least in meeting him, is to see if we can get any additional information on other people that might have found more of Liv's comrades, so that we can get a more specific destination in mind.
Right. No. I was saying, should like maybe talk to. Is there any hope of actually talking with the forgive me the that nation
Oh, really?
and being upfront, or is that just pointless? As I am apparently learning.
What's the? Well, I mean, given the political situation of Cahokia and the freelance, the Haudenosaunee, what is the likelihood of that, Shani?
Haudenosaunee is a confederation, and is made up of a grand council. That sort of the original nations that made up the confederacy, sort of all council together to try and make decisions. The political situation between the freelance and Haudenosaunee is not hostile at the moment, but tensions between all of the nations of Makasun are sort of rising recently.
We could.
So it's not impossible. There would probably be a lot of consideration, deliberation, and debate involved.
We could talk to them. The question is, if they don't already know about Liv's people, what will they do with that knowledge and technology? If they do already know about Liv's people, how long will it take for them to get back to us? And also, Liv's people might not be there. They might be in the Kitawagi. Who?
I guess,
Yeah.
I guess that's my concern is, are we, if we do the upfront thing, if we do the upfront thing and act how I would have thought it would have been normal to act not long ago, and we accidentally inform them, does that end up working against us, or will they be decent and say, oh, there's people here in a ship, we shouldn't take them?
It's
Haudenosaunee is known for being very tolerant as a nation. Anyone can become a full-fledged citizen regardless of the circumstances of their birth, including even former prisoners of war. However, there is a sense of disenfranchisement for those who do not choose to assimilate and who retain their own practices and beliefs and language. While they are citizens, they are largely disenfranchised from Haudenosaunee as a whole, because while they are accepting of all, basically, if you come, we would prefer if you start following our ways. Very Roman-esque in a lot of ways. Obviously not entirely, but that sort of sense of like, you're welcome, anyone is welcome to be Haudenosaunee, but follow the Haudenosaunee if you want the full benefits.
It's entirely possible that they would be willing to cooperate, and that informing them of what's of what these capsules are won't have negative effects. It's also entirely possible that they won't, and it will. And I guess ultimately that's going to be up to Liv for which approach she would prefer, because it's her people.
While it may be my people that we are looking for, it is not my culture to make determinations on what approach is best. I would like to recover as many of my people as possible, but I do not know what the best approach will be.
Ultimately, my hope is that once we meet with Yangama, we have an idea of where we want to look, if we can get that information out of them, and then we would decide how best to approach. If that makes sense.
It does.
And that was to the whole group, the group as a whole as well. If anyone, Tala, Boya, not anyone on that.
I think it makes sense. I have worries that your crew may have been spread all over Makasang somehow.
At least across its eastern coast, it is entirely likely. The tides of the ocean that we crossed were rife with Thor's fury, and the ocean currents were unpredictable. It would be hard to say if I ended up in one particular place that any other pods would be nearby, or perhaps they might have spread all along the eastern coast of this land.
The ship that you came in, was it armed, or was it solely for transport?
It was outfitted for protection against the elements, but was not armed with any militarized weapon.
So largely the concern there is that
the only weapons that were carried were those who were carried by those aboard.
Yeah. If one of the less enfranchised peoples of Haudenosaunee found your people first, or found your ship first, and decided that it was a large enough technological leap that they could make use of to do something for whatever purposes they might have, there could be a reason why the Haudenosaunee wouldn't want to cooperate, because they might be dealing with something internally, or they might just not know. And if we ask them about it going in, if we don't have a better idea, that's tipping off anyone that has it that we're coming, or that we're looking for at the very least. Which will make it harder to find it. But again, that's going to determine on what we learn, if we can learn anything from Yanmaga. Or Yangama. As I slowly morph the name into a Pokemon.
Slowly turning into Yamask.
Yanmega.
Mm-hmm.
It's a giant dragonfly Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. And no, Naughty. I would love if we could just settle this with peaceful communication. That would be great.
But probably not. Yeah.
It'll just depend on what we learn. Back to Counselor Wakuni. It's like, unless anybody else has something they'd like to throw in about the meeting.
Nope.
So I think we would prefer if you would have the Nisat family set up the meeting as if they were going to be there, and then we'll be there instead.
I will warn that Yangama is boisterous, but also quite canny and cunning.
That's why I would like. Oh,
if you catch him by that kind of surprise, he may attempt to flee.
That's fine. I want him off his guard. I don't want him prepared, basically. No, you're not coming through. You're not coming through. What was that?
I will make preparations.
I'm assuming he's gonna. I'm assuming either he or the Nissan have a standard meeting place, or he will designate a meeting place. let us know what that is with enough time beforehand that we can set up, if you would.
I will provide what I can, and we will see how Yangama are you doing it to me now?
Yep. Omega.
Is how they respond to this. Entirely possible they might be leery of the meeting in the first place, assuming that it is the Nisat unsatisfied with their purchase.
We will go ahead and do some scouting of our own. We'll wait for an update then.
For your discretion on this matter, I look forward to resolving this as quickly as possible.
Of course.
Nods and sort of indicates that he's going to get to work if you would like to leave.
Yeah. Zin says, of course, thus promising nothing. Usher my team out.
Your way out, door shut behind you.
Okay. While we're waiting for an update, we should hit the streets and see if we can find Yangama and any information on him that we can possibly get before we have a meeting with him.
Do you want us to find him directly,
No.
or just
No.
information or
Find out
acquaintances?
where he is. If we can find out where he is, where he operates out of, what his standard operating procedure is, if he has any particularly favored spots, if he has any bolt holes, whatever information we can find without being face to face with him directly yet.
Okay.
Because if he doesn't decide to come to the meeting with the Nisat, then we're gonna have to hunt him down. And if he does come to the meeting and he runs away and gets away, then we're going to have to hunt him down. So, having as much information about him as possible without tipping our hand beforehand is going to be critical. Which means that in this particular investigation, we're going to want Liv to lie low for a bit because you stand out.
I do not disagree.
What's the name of Tawasikik's new friend? This is out of
Akwani.
Akwani?
Akwani, yeah.
Honestly, Tala, if you would want to talk to Akwani, that might be the best source of information we can get.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I'll just sort of hit the streets and see what the people in general know. And then Oya and Nadi, what are you thinking?
I mean, outside of potentially, is there anywhere we need to get like information from that we can't get?
Not yet,
Okay.
but possibly soon. Like if we find he's got a safe house, then there.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because then I can do stuff.
Okay. You want to just help me canvass the people on the street then while we wait?
I'll go Tala.
Okay. Boya.
I guess I'll help you canvas people on the street because I don't really see how a lot of my skills can be applied here.
I have a puppy. It follows me.
All right. So me and Woya and I will
Your own goddamn fault.
Woya
I
and
know.
Woya and I will hit the streets. Tala and Nadi will talk to our interesting friend. And meet
Cool.
back meet back up at this location, da la la la. Or sooner if we get information sooner.
Remember to use protection, and then we'll leave.
Huh?
Don't worry about it,
Pull
Naughty.
out gun.
No, not Naughty. Remember how we had that talk last night?
I know I was making a joke.
Oh,
There was no indication that there was a joke anywhere
Yeah.
in there until they said that.
no, she will pause and then just pat them on the shoulder. Good job.
Thank
All
you.
right.
You did a
Let's-
humor.
You did a laugh. You having a laugh, mate?
What is what is their name again? I keep forgetting it.
Aquani.
Aquani.
Aquani, thank you. What is
Yeah.
the best way to contact them?
One Nosia Gasatsitsu.
Aquani.
We have met them, right?
Yes, you have met them.
Yes.
I'm
Everyone in
mentally
the group has met them at
contacting
this
them.
point. Yeah.
I'm mentally contacting them.
Okay.
Go for it.
I love the
roll
phone a
me
friend
Raven's
feature.
Call.
Hold on. Yeah, they definitely. I'm assuming they do not count as friend yet.
Hero Forge now has the ability to put 2 sets of wings on one model.
Damn it! I
So
need
if you want to
find-
have-
that'll be useful.
So if you want to have a 4-winged angel, you can do so now.
Is only 4?
Only
About
well, I mean,
fucking time.
you can also have 2 shoulder tail. You can also have like 4 like shoulder tail or legs, like 2 at the shoulders and 2 at the hips. So theoretically, if you can figure out how to make those into wings, that's 8 connection points
Okay, that's better.
plus tails.
I guess my only the only things that I have to check for difficulty modifier are they in an encounter currently? Capital E.
Not at the moment.
Okay. And are they hundreds of miles or more away?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so it is flat difficulty because they don't count as friend, they don't count as enemy. I don't think.
No.
Hopefully.
Not unless you want to tell us something that we haven't figured out yet. I try that again. There we go. Hi.
So you reach out with Raven's Call.
Yep.
And you know this person. You should definitely be able to connect to them, especially with
I will
that many
also-
successes.
Cool.
You hit a wall
Okay.
where you would be attempting to connect to their minds.
Okay.
You are unable to make the connection to it.
I was also planning on including Tala anyways.
You connect Tala, but
So, yeah.
you cannot reach Aquani.
Huh. They might be dead.
Okay. Tala's using the Nisa to contact them.
You contact them.
Mhm.
What do you say?
Just we are looking for some information on an individual. If you are free to talk, I'd very much appreciate it.
You get back relatively quickly. Certainly. Is there an ideal venue that you're looking for?
Whatever's easiest for you.
Let's head to Nokoroku. It's open this time of day, but there won't be much of a crowd.
All right. Yeah, they're alive, Naughty.
If you want, Naughty, you can roll me knowledge.
Well, I've no doubt it's possible. That's not what the was from. Yeah, 4.
There is a specific gift known as Stone Thoughts,
Right.
which endows someone with supernatural focus and also serves as a mental barrier that protects them from most mind-affecting other gifts. Someone using stone thoughts they can prevent their mind from being read or otherwise interacted with a lot of the time. It makes them immune to Raven's Call.
I think they might be +3 difficulty for me to do that now.
Are you now an enemy?
Listen, if you are blocking people out of your head, that means you have something to hide.
I mean, they are an avowed black market dealer and fixer. Like,
yes, but Nadi is incredibly naive and didn't think that was bad.
He just works in alternative markets.
Yeah.
Now we have something to hide, which means, yeah.
Naughty, never change.
Being completely reasonable has turned them into, in their mind, not reasonable.
This is one of my favorite characters
All right,
you've ever
let's
done,
go.
Jeremy.
It's a lot of fun.
right.
We will go and meet them.
Yes.
Yeah, to Nukarobi. Like they said, there's not a lot of crowd here right now this time of day.
Mhm.
Crowd will begin to form in a few hours, but because in the afternoon now. But you make your way there, and yeah, Akwani is already sitting at a table as the two of you enter. They wave.
Yep. Dala will wave.
Naughty just goes over there, pulls out gun. What are you hiding?
Pulls out gun, shoots in head. All right. No.
I was told to use protection. Shoot.
That's the thing. Akwani is using protection.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's protection against me, so it's not good.
It's also protection against Tala.
That's
Because
That
one of the
is-
abilities that Stone Thoughts renders you immune to is Coyote's gaze.
Yeah, no, legit, absolutely.
Not that
legit.
I would
Look,
ever use it
no
on them,
one-
though, or anyone.
no one is ever immune to Coyote's gaze.
But yes, I'm just walking up with Tala, and I'm quiet, and I'm just watching them.
All right. And Tala will have a seat.
Sit down.
Thank you for meeting with us.
Always a pleasure.
Uh,
What
we,
do I owe the honor of meeting with the Suyata again?
we have a meeting with someone, and we are trying to find out as much information as them as possible, or about them, sorry, as possible. And they don't know that we're the ones that are meeting them.
Color me intrigued. Do you have a description or a name of this person?
A name I can't pronounce. How do you pronounce this name?
Yan Mega.
Yangama.
Yanga.
Yangama.
Yangama?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm always afraid I'm gonna butcher a name.
It's fine. I'm sure I'm
Insult
not pronouncing it
someone.
right either.
Okay, Yangama?
Yangama.
Yeah.
It's all it's
I
as far as I understand it, it's quick flow.
No emphasis.
Okay, Yangama.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will say.
The wandering tradesman. I might have a couple of ideas of where you could potentially look for clues.
Okay.
They have been known, whenever they've been in town, to be a frequenter of Awaoli's sermons.
Of what?
Awaholi Dihi is a unique individual in Cahokia.
Unique how?
most of their bodies been replaced with cybernetics. Some people wonder if they might be entirely machine at this point. But they've been known to sit around and practice meditative and communal spiritual practices and communions in the old train tunnel systems. On top of that, they also tend to offer their services in cybernetic installation. They're a dab hand at it, as might be imagined. And it's been known from time to time that whenever Yangama is in town, if Awaholi has a sermon going on, that they usually want to try and make their way down to listen. They seem to value what the old pile of metal has to say.
Would they happen to have a sermon going on anytime this evening or today?
It's possible. You typically don't know when you've come across one of Awaholi's meditation circles until you've come across it. Go search around the old number 7 tunnels, the ones that don't get used anymore. You might find Awaholi down there, and if Yangama's not there, you might be able to ask someone around, maybe even Awaholi himself, about the man, and maybe get some information.
All right.
All right.
Be prepared to face an onslaught of questions. Awaholi is always curious.
Like what kind of questions?
Who you are, what you believe in, what is justice, what is the meaning of your existence, why do you do the things you do, what purpose is there in society, those kinds of things.
All right.
Okay.
Not that this is a name that is known anywhere in here, but Awaholi and Socrates would get along very well.
And they said where they can be found, right?
They gave you a general read.
A general location. Yeah.
Like, look around the old number 7 tunnels. Maybe you'll
All right.
maybe you'll stumble into one of their open meditation circles.
Taller will look at Naughty. Up for an adventure?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need to keep a low profile. Can't talk tonight. Especially if Yanma is there.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
prepared to sit quietly. They are open meditation circles. Some do like to converse with Awaholi especially, but it is on the whole a place for people to sit and meditate. So be prepared to be quiet and respectful until you have an opening.
Okay. Thank you. All right. She will grab Naughty and head in that direction then.
Yep.
Just muttering under her breath, Zin's gonna kill me if we actually come face to face with him.
So you make your way.
I don't know that you've ever.
Into the tunnels.
I don't know that you've ever experienced Zen being mad.
Probably not, but
Yeah.
Zin said we don't want to actually
Yeah.
confront them yet.
Yeah. No. He has faith in you.
Oh, good. I don't have faith in her.
I mean, she might have misplaced faith in you, but she has faith in you.
Nah. You shouldn't.
Anyways.
So, any conversations between the two of you as you make your way down?
I
Probably
don't.
just
Yeah. Go ahead.
small talk, I would
Mhm.
think.
I was curious if Nadi had any thoughts about the conversation with Akwani to share or anything.
Not currently. I think they're keeping thoughts to themselves right now. Um,
So the two of you make your way down to the tunnels. That's going to take a minute to wander the tunnels to try and see if maybe you run into anything. So while you're doing that, Zin and Oya, what are the two of you up to?
Canvassing for information on the streets.
How are you approaching that?
Zin would probably Zin's first instinct would probably be to go to go to a market, open market, and just talk with some of the shopkeepers that he knows personally, and see if they have heard of the name. The counselor said that they were actively trading here in the city right now still. So Zin imagines that people in the market district would know them, and might be able to just like get some gossip about them, sort of thing. So mechanically, an investigation roll, I guess.
Either investigation or charm. Well, yeah.
I have 5
First
dice
thing
to
Woy is
float.
gonna do is probably let Zin take over for a lot of the talking at first, because she's gonna try and delve into Anissa to see if anybody is talking about this individual.
What's my success number?
Standard 8.
Any effect for my notoriety?
In this particular case, your reputation is not the thing you're calling on here. This is trying to find out about someone else's reputation.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if my notoriety made it harder or not.
It might, but I don't know if you want me to call on that.
That's up to you. I just want to check. I want to make sure I'm rolling accurate numbers. All right. So my Spirit's Covenant is always active.
You're not asking about bandit work or anything that relates to your job, like your old job.
Yeah.
So probably.
6 successes with a critical success.
Yeah. And while that's happening, Woya, you were saying?
Woy is gonna delve into some forums and some of the places she knows that her sister would go to find people to talk to see if there's anybody that is talking about this guy.
Lasso.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me computers.
I'll spend 1 mind to make that a critical.
All right, and then roll me another d12. Roll me another d12. All right. So 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, 2 of which are criticals.
So 6 successes on both of us.
Yeah.
Both of us with critical successes.
For Zin, as you ask around, the merchants that you talk to are all like a number of them have indeed heard, like when you mentioned Yagama, they've probably heard the name, and they'll recount that, yeah, this really loud dude occasionally comes through whenever he's in town. He's always like hawking, like he's full of showmanship. He's always got like a pile of stuff dragging behind him on a Yutsu barge or a Yutsu sled that he's just like selling them as if they're like unique wonders of things that you won't find anywhere else. He's the kind of an oddities kind of merchant. Yeah, whenever he comes through, you can usually hear it because he's usually barking up and down the street. Other people don't know him by name, but when you sort of lead with that kind of information, yeah, they can corroborate that kind of story. What you gather is that the person is usually dressed uniquely, different from the usual Cahokian style. Their outfit is usually incorporates an amount of smart technology that helps like draw attention. But also, some people have noted that his outfit usually can change on its own because of the smart technology. So maybe be aware that whatever he was wearing when someone else saw him might not be what he's wearing when you encounter him next.
So if he bolts, tracking him by his clothing might not be useful. Got it. Do I get any sense of where he primarily operates on his in his street roaming, yelling craze finanza?
Only showed naughty to players, I think. You get the sense that he usually will walk around the Chizin and the Banamo regions, though he has been known to wander the majority of the city at times, depending on when and what he needs.
And do any of the merchants themselves have any sense of his general honesty, or is it's like a thing where he purports that these things are unique, but I know that he sold the same thing to one person like twice or whatever like that?
You get a sense that he likely inflates a lot of the value of the stuff that he's selling, but you get a sense that there is always at least a kernel of truth to what he's saying. The stuff that he sells is pretty special and unique, even if it's not, wonder of the ancient world that he kind of purports it to be.
Gotcha. And then I guess after that, I'm just trying to get like relevant character information, anything that'll help me when negotiating with him for information. Like what's he like, what's he dislike? Is there any does he have a favorite bar, anything like that? Or not bar, but
you get the sense
den.
that when he's not around, no one at least who frequents the surface really knows where he goes in the city when he disappears. But you get a sense that from people who spend a little more time in the underground tunnels, that he will often just disappear underground for whenever he needs to get away from business for a while.
And is he active now? Like, have we heard him going up and down the streets at all?
No, not at least not where you're asking questions.
Okay, cool. Right. And then we can go to Woya.
And with Woya, what you find over your search of the Daso, there's a number of people. Like if you do a specific search for Yangama, you will find a number of people who are talking about, hey, Yangama's back in town. You want to go see what kind of weird shit he's found this time around? Yangama seems to be like not like a celebrity, but like a known factor on the Daso, especially the more like obscure corners of Cahokia's Daso. A lot of younger people think that they might find something like incredible on Yangama's cart whenever he comes through, but some of the more veteran people who have seen him a couple of times are like, the stuff he sells is impressive, and usually pretty special, but it's not like unique artifacts most of the time, unless he's got some kind of really good haul. He'll have something really unique every once in a while, and if you get lucky, you might be able to get it off of him. But most of the stuff that he finds, while it's rare and interesting, is not usually quite as big as he's selling it as. But there's a lot of people who are like, it seems like Yangama gets by a lot on just raw charisma. He's very bombastic, very, very large and loud. Tries to make friends with just about everybody, but the few times there's a couple of reports of like he's occasionally almost gotten into a scrap, and he usually is someone knows. Like I once saw him like almost get cornered by a couple of thugs, and he was gone before I realized that the thugs were trying to figure out where he was. He's very slippery. That's the general theme of what you find about Young on the Dust.
All right.
Meanwhile, Nadi and Hala, the pair of you make your way down into the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to the old number 7 tunnels, which are some old disused tunnels underneath the intersection between Nabanamo and Nahikongi. Places where some of the old construction that just doesn't get used as much, and they're just leftover tunnels from places that have been dug out and are less commonly trafficked. And you start walking. I would like either a survival or investigation as a pair.
I know which one I'm rolling. Yeah. 3.
Jesus.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ, Holly.
gosh. Did we just trade?
You rolled 11.
You don't roll nearly as many dice as
Yeah.
as Naughty does, but you just rolled a bunch of 12s.
Did Jeremy not just trade?
Go off.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I didn't mean to.
First of all, it's hilarious. Second of all, that's have you met me? Nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also, Jesus Christ.
Oh, now you're looking at it.
No, I was looking at it the whole time.
But yeah, no, wow, holy shit.
11 successes on 6 dice.
Yeah, 11 successes on 6 dice.
You got more success than you had dice.
I mean, yeah, significantly more. Not just more, because I got 6 on 5, but 11
you almost
on...
doubled your dice. Yeah, so the pair of you go wandering through the tunnels. Tala, you almost like accidentally walk your way into a small group of individuals who are just sort of sitting down quietly meditating. There is the smell of incense and herbs sort of drifting through the air. The scent of plant matter and like the slightly stale air made slightly altered by some individuals either taking something for an altered state or just having the smell of plants around for an altered state, or just sweet smelling calming scents nearby. As you look around, you see that sort of scattered around the section of tunnel, there are a good dozen individuals just sort of in various states of meditation, sitting down, laying down, leaning against a wall, quietly humming or just like being completely silent, just observing and being present unto themselves. And sort of in the middle of all of it, not like as if he is directing all of it, but as if the entire thing just sort of formed around him, is probably the most unique individual that either of you have ever seen. This individual has undergone an extreme amount of cybernetic replacement. And most of the pieces that he has had replaced do not resemble their human counterparts. Both of his legs are just solid sheet metal, with the like exposed metallic tendons visible for everyone to see. Both of his arms and legs do not have any skin. They're just mechanical tendons, joints, musculature, all visible to any observers. His entire torso is plated in metal. The only sign that there is any kind of flesh is like half of his face is raw metallic. The right side of his face looks like it either has synth skin or his actual skin, what little is left of it, on the right side of his face. His hair that sort of sits in like a loose braid around the back of his head. His eyes are shut at the moment, and he has this sort of small, long, thin metallic rod that looks like a pipe, maybe, but there's no like bowl for anything. There's just like a small flame at the end of it. And he doesn't seem to be smoking it. He's just kind of holding it in one hand as he sort of sits with both hands, with like legs crossed, holding the pipe in his left and just sort of contemplating the small metallic sphere in his right hand as he sort of turns it over, his eyes sort of unfocused, closed, just sort of feeling the sensation of the sphere in his hand as he sort of sits quietly. There is no doubt in your mind that this is our holy Dihi.
Yeah, Tala will like grab Naughty's arm if they're trying to move forward anymore.
Nope.
And kind
I'm
of
not getting near that.
okay. Tala will sit down.
And now he plants himself like against the wall. Not like, but more like, yeah, I am. You're taking the lead on this. I'm backing you up.
You're my protection.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she'll meditate.
Naughty, the walking prophylactic.
Oh, that's right. I don't think you were there for that particular scene.
No, we didn't tell them about that scene.
No, what scene am I missing that I'm referencing?
There was a
apparently?
there was a question in a bar about Ouya making sure that they had protection.
Woya
and-
jokingly said it to Tala when she was
Yeah.
flirting with
Oh,
somebody.
that's right.
Yes.
And
Oya
so-
said use
and so-
protection.
Yeah.
Not entirely understanding what that euphemism, proceeded to walk up to a prospective date that was going on with Hala and someone else, put their mag sling on the table, smile at them both, and turn around and walk away.
That explains the joke earlier. Okay.
Yes.
Tala then had to explain what the protection euphemism is for.
No,
Right.
Tawasika did that.
Kawasaki explained it.
Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah.
But yes, Tala will meditate.
After a few moments, are you keeping an eye open or are you closing your eyes?
She's keeping an eye open. She's being respectful, but she is keeping an eye open.
You sit and think for a minute, the scents in the air sort of wafting over, sort of stilling some of your thoughts, allowing you to focus and meditate more easily. And then there is a light, like almost gyroscopic whir as you look over and see that Awaholi has taken notice of your arrival and sort of recognizes you are not any of the regulars that come and visit his meditation circles. And he sort of like looks across, and the pair of you lock eyes. And you see that one of his eyes, at least, is a different color than the others. The eye on the right side of his face, whether or not the right side of his face is organic or just made to look organic, his right eye is the usual like dark brown that is relatively common with the dark skin tone. The left eye is violet, like bright violet, like Aranati violet.
Oh, Violet. I only
I
heard
heard-
the first sentence. I only heard the first syllable of that, and
His
I
eye
did-
is violent.
Yes, I heard
it was just
violent.
vile.
Lint can be
And
violent.
he sort of raises up a hand, the one that was holding that pipe, his left hand actually, and just sort of gestures to approach because he seems to gather that the two of you are looking for him specifically.
Tala will approach.
Well, says the voice softly as you approach, seeming to only carry so far as the pair of your ears. The two of you are new. What brings you down to where I frequent? I can tell there is curiosity behind your purpose, and I wonder what it is that brings you here. And that is where we're going to end for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.